So I don't have my journal because it's packed up in storage, and I am currently feeling a wave of emotions, and if I can't journal about it, I'm going to at least video it. Today is October 15th. Happy birthday to my best friend. Shout out to her. But today is a different type of feeling. I don't know, I'm just trying to express myself to document how I'm feeling in this moment in my life right now. So who knows if anybody will ever see this or if it's just for me, but right now, I decided to blow up my life, as I say, 4 months ago, and leave my full-time job, which I really, really loved. And that's the sad thing about it. Like, the company was great, my coworkers was great, the pay was great. The only thing that wasn't ideal was location. And I thought I can overlook it, but it was just getting to me that I had no friends, no family, and I just couldn't see my life really growing the way I wanted it to there. So I didn't want to waste any more time there if I can start building my life somewhere else where I would be happier. But what I did not foresee is that me deciding to leave in that moment, the current state of the job market that we are in today. This job market is just something totally different. Mind you, I just found that last job at my old job 2 years ago. And 2 years ago versus right now in 2025, the job market is just a completely different beast. And I am just at the point every day where I'm waking up questioning if I made the right decision, because nothing is coming up. I started actively looking for jobs in, I would say, like the end of August, beginning of September, just because I knew I was gonna be out of the country for 3 weeks within September leading into October. So I kind of didn't want to start a new job knowing that I wouldn't be here for 3 weeks. So I started earlier to kind of at least have some type of prospects by October when I came back. And that is just not how it worked out. I'm not keeping track of like how many jobs I applied to, because I just feel like that would just make me more depressed. But as of right now, I've interviewed with about 6 to 7 companies, which, you know, very thankful. Even in this market, it's crazy to see that. But I am trying not to settle, because I feel like I settled last time with my employer, which is why I ended up in that location. And I'm trying to not settle this time so that then I can have the job that I really want. Meaning it's in the location I want, it's in the pay that I want, it's the position that I want. And I feel like that is not a luxury I have right now in this moment. And I feel like if I make a rash decision, I'm just going to be in the same spot another 2 years later. And by then I'll be in my 30s, which is crazy to say. And I feel like I want my career to be established. Like, I want to be at a company where I can grow and where I can just start building my life. I'm tired of jumping and moving and doing all that stuff. I've been doing that since college. Since 2019, I've just have not been able to sit still. And I take it as a blessing, because now I really understand myself in a way that I didn't think, or that I know I wouldn't be able to had I not taken these opportunities. But now I'm ready to just experience life in a steady way. And out of these 6 or 7 jobs that I've been talking to, I don't see prospects. Like, I've been getting to first, second, third round interviews, but if an offer came, which no offer has crossed my table yet, but if an offer came, I would not want to accept any of them, just because they just don't suit what I want. And the main thing I'm really counting as a blessing right now is that I'm in a position where I have the opportunity to say no, which is something I'm very grateful for and I don't want to overlook. And I also feel like my faith is being highly tested right now in this moment. Being a Christian, I am trying to work on my patience and understanding where God actually wants me, because I can't tell the difference between what I want and what He wants from me. And I feel like it's not working out, or things aren't planning how I want them to be, because He's telling me you are making the same mistakes or the same cycle that you did last time. And if you want something different, you need to wait. Like, I'm going to set things up in line for you so that then when it happens, you'll know. And I feel like that is what I'm waiting for, and I'm just impatient. I feel like the job that I am destined for, that he wants me to do, it will come effortlessly, and I need to stop trying to force it. So I do have another interview today in an hour, and I'm trying not to let it get to me, because I feel like that initial interview with HR is what sets the tone, and normally that is what makes me say, like, I'm not interested, because either the pay is too low or it's not the type of schedule I want. And I feel like I can't be picky, but I also can't settle. And it's just so hard. And I honestly don't even know what I'm saying. Like I said, I am just trying to get it out. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. I know there are people worse off than I am. And again, I'm truly blessed and thankful for where I am. But I just need a moment for myself to just dwell on it and express how I feel. So I'm just going to continue to document myself in this moment, because I feel like it'll help me look back and see where I've come. And if I'm ever having a hard day, I can, look back and see where I was before, and it probably isn't as worse as it could be. But yeah, that's really all I got to say. I'm trying to psych myself up, wish me luck for this interview, and if it's meant to be, it will be. I do have 2 other interviews with 2 other companies lined up for next week, so optimistic with that as well. But I'm trying to adapt the let go and let God mentality, because I can't do it anymore on my own. I have to release, or I'm just not going to make it through. So hopefully this resonates with someone, and if I need to hear it, hopefully it resonates with myself. So yeah, that's it. Okay, update. I just got off the phone with the recruiter regarding that job I just did. I took my notes, and I must say that is the most positive experience I've had with a recruiter since starting looking for a job. Like, I actually see some potential, and I'm excited about possibly continuing the interview process, which is really just something that I want. She did let me know that, she liked me. She feels like she's going to push me forward, and I should hear from her by no later than next week. So I'm not trying to get too excited, but it is nice to at least have some hope and, a little bit of light at the end. But yeah, I'm actually excited about it, and we will see what comes of that interview and continue to interview with the rest of these people in the coming weeks. So I will update as something comes along. Okay, so it is now October 22nd. It's about 10 in the morning, and I have an interview in an hour. So I am trying to get myself together. It is a virtual interview, so I'm just gonna put on some makeup and get dressed and everything. But I am just waking up this morning and trying not to let this interview overwhelm me or consume me. Honestly, this is with a company that I didn't even think would move me on to the next step. So I'm surprised that I am discussing with the hiring manager, but I'm trying to remind myself they see value in who I am. So all I have to do is just go in and be what I can. The last couple of days have been a little rough because it's been crickets. Like, I haven't heard anything from the last interview that I did when I told you guys that I felt pretty good and I thought the lady was going to push me forward to the hiring manager. But I told myself I'm not going to stress. I'm just going to let it happen, and whatever it is what it's going to be. I've also been watching some people on YouTube that, I've been tuned into. And one in particular that I've been watching for years now is, I think it's Life with Kiki or Life as Kiki. She just recently, shared what she's been going through, and, she's been through a lot. But a key thing that she said to help her to get to where she is to just live your life as if you are already who you want to be. So the last couple of days, rather than sit home and dwell about the unknown, I went shopping and I got some professional attire because that's just something that I've wanted since my last job, just to up my clothing. And while I was shopping, it felt weird because it's like, girl, why are you shopping when you don't even have a job? Like, where are you wearing these clothes to? But she shared how she just let it release, put it in God's hands, and whatever it's going to be is what it's going to be. So just live your life as if you're already that person, because he's going to carry you through. But yesterday, in my final hour, when the day was done, because the lady told me she would reach out to me by Tuesday of next week, which was yesterday, and it was going on 4 o'clock. So I was like, okay, if I haven't heard from her by the end of today, then I didn't get pushed through. And she texted me and she said, hey, she had a doctor's appointment, so she, forgot to get back to me, but she wants to know if I'm available for an interview on Friday this week for the next steps with the hiring manager. And guys, that is what I needed. So right now I'm in the process of both of these 2 jobs. I don't know what will come of it. I'm just putting my best foot forward, applying where I can. But I'm just trying to be at peace. The first couple of months was just me questioning myself, doubting myself. And with the world, it's just so much going on in this world. And it's just so much fear and so much negativity that is just being thrown at me constantly. I try to stay off of social media if I can, other than like related to my job, which is, trying to get my business afloat and saying all that. But other than that, I try to decompress, and it's just a lot. And I'm trying not to let it get the best of me. I'm trying to remain optimistic, and I am just approaching each day one at a time. So that is the update. I'm trying to be consistent with myself and document, but I'm going to put on some music, as I said, prep myself for this interview, and after it goes, I'll connect and tell you how it went. Okay, so just wrapped up that interview, and she was pleasant to talk to. It was very conversational. I was stressing myself out thinking that this was going to be more of like a cutthroat type of interview, but she was very relaxed and comfortable to talk to, so I did enjoy it. It looks like it's positive because she was already talking in terms of putting me through to next steps. So there's a 3rd round interview that I'm gonna have to do with 2 people. She said the director and someone else, and it sounds like she wants to either do it this week or next week, so positive there. And yeah, I enjoyed it. Again, try not to get my hopes too far up, but I'm looking forward to progressing with it and seeing what happens. And now I'm going to prepare myself for Friday with that interview. You'll probably see this same outfit on Friday because I just throw on this same shirt and then take it off when I'm done with my interviews. So the next clip will probably be me prepping for Friday's interview and giving my feedback on that. But I can breathe easier today. I do feel better, and I feel like that was great. It was a good interview. I couldn't have done anything more than that. So now I'm about to finish up some orders, package them up, and I need to go to the post office to drop that off. And again, I'm just gonna proceed with my day. It's a good day today, so I can't complain. All right, you guys, interview number 2 was done. It's Friday. What day is it? It's Friday, October 24th, and I just wrapped up the interview, and I feel really good. Like, that was such a nice conversation I had with her. She kept reiterating, like, throughout the interview that you seem like you would be great for this. You give off that this would be a good position for you. We had great conversation. It was very natural talking, and this is the one I really want. So I don't know. I don't know. And now it's Friday, so I have to like wait. And she let me know that I'm basically one of the first or few people that she's been interviewing for this position. So I feel like I'm gonna have to wait even longer because she still has to interview other people and it's just getting started. But she said she will keep me informed. And like I said, it feels good, but we will see what happens. I gave it my all, and we can just sit back and wait. All right, so sharing a quick update regarding the job search. So last night I did receive a call from HR, and this is about the first job that I interviewed for at the beginning of the week. So it looks like the hiring manager enjoyed our conversation and she pushed me on to the next round, which is going to be me talking to the DP. So that interview is for next week on Tuesday. So at least I have that to look forward to. And right now it's the weekend, so I can prep and prepare for that. So yeah, it's nice. I'm getting pushed to a third round interview. I'm still holding out for the company that I spoke with on Friday. I still want that to be a top choice. But of course I'm going to proceed with this one that I have. It's not ideal, but if we do get to the end and there's a job offer at the end, I will consider it. So yeah, we still got some opportunities. I've still been applying to other people, so if anything comes through, but it's nice to just keep my options open. At least now it's the weekend and I can relax and have at least something to look forward to. But yeah, that is so far the update with the job search. Okay, update. I just finished my interview for the last one that I updated you guys on. It is now Tuesday, October 28th, and I just had the interview with the director, and the director let me know that this is basically the last interview once I wrapped up, and she told me she still has 2 other people that she is going to interview throughout the remainder of this week, and I should know about the position by next week because that is when she would want the position filled. So by next week is when I will know for sure if I got it or not. The questions that she asked, it was fairly simple. It was really conversation talking, and she seemed like it was good, so we'll see. But I'm hoping to hear something about the position I really want by the end of this week. And I also applied to 2 other positions that I think were nice and see opportunity with. So I'm waiting to hear back on those to see if I get a phone screening with either one of those. So I'm keeping my hopes high, options open, and yeah. But either way, it was good practice. It was nice to know that I got all the way pushed to the final round for this interview. So it shows that, I do have skills to offer. It shows that my resume is good. We just will wait and see. But as for today, that is all the update I have. And that is that. Okay, so there's an update. It is now October 29th. No, it's October 30th because tomorrow's Halloween. But late last night, I got an email for the follow-up on the same job I think that I last spoke to you guys about. And they want to do another interview. So this is going to be a panel interview with 5 people, and that's going to be tomorrow. And I think that will be the final stage of the interview, and I'm guessing however it pans out after this panel interview, they will make their decision by sometime next week. I'm kind of just over it because the lady told me the last interview was the last one. But, I guess it's a good sign. They want me to continue to meet new people, but I'm just a little, I don't know. I'm just a little exhausted, but I'm going to see it through, see what comes out of it. I still have yet to hear from the one I really want to know if I am progressing within that one. But I knew it was going to be a wait because she told me that they just started and I was the first person. But I think if I don't hear anything, at least by the end of today, I'm still going to reach out to the recruiter and just get a status, get a feel to see if she's possibly going to move me forward. Because I want to have options, because if I definitely know I'm not progressing with that position, then I may seriously have to consider this one that I'm interviewing for tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just tired. This job market is draining. The applying, the interviewing, the rejections is all just getting to me, and I feel like I need a little break. And I don't know, but that's the status. That's the update. Okay, I have a little bit of some updates. So today is the day I should be having my panel interview that I last told you guys about. It's now 11:50, going on 12 o'clock. past couple of days, so she hasn't heard anything, but she said she is due to make a decision early next week. So she's supposed to come back Wednesday of next week is what she told me. So it sounds like for this particular job, I would only have to interview for the hiring manager, and then she'll make the decision. So which is nice. So in a perfect world, if things pan out, if I get both job offers sometime next week or the week after, and then I can make my decision, that would be ideal. But it's nice to hear that at least from both of them, it sounds like I possibly will either be progressing or getting an offer, which is nice, you know, because like I said, it's been getting to me, this job market, and I'm just ready to be making some form of income again, even if it's not longevity. I just want something for right now until I can find something long term. But I'm happy with the prospects out of both of these two jobs, which is really a blessing and something surprising within this job market. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, they're both just stressing me out a little bit, and I just like to get it done and know what's going on. So after I get back home and finish my interview for 2 o'clock, I will let you guys know how I felt about it. And then I'll probably just update you guys sometime next week, possibly if either one of them gets back to me with either an offer or a rejection. I don't know. I'm fine either way. I have come to peace with it. At the end of the day, I've done what I can for both interviews, and if neither one of these are a good fit, then it is what it is. I've prayed about it, and I've already had my peace with God and myself that if this is meant for me, He will make it available for me, and if not, then I will keep moving until I have something. But yeah, so that is the status as of today, and that is all I got. Okay, I finished that interview, and I felt great about it, honestly. It was very conversational. They laughed, I laughed, I felt comfortable. I feel like I answered the questions the best that I could, and it seemed to resonate with them. So yeah, I'm gonna walk away feeling good about it. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. But yeah, I just wanted to come in, update you guys, let you know how it went, and we will just wait for next week to see how everything plays out. But for now, I'm going to enjoy my weekend, not going to stress about it, and I'm happy with whatever transpires.
It's November 7th. It's Friday. It's been a whole week since the last time I updated, and at this point, I feel like if I was a candidate or at least worth being considered, I would have heard something by now. Going a whole week and hearing from neither company right now doesn't make me feel good. And next week is my birthday, and I told some of my family members the possibility of both of these jobs, and now I feel, I don't know, I just feel stupid because I got my hopes up thinking at least one of these two would pan out, but right now it just looks very bleak, and we're leading into holiday time, so I already anticipated that if I didn't at least hear promise from either one of these two within the next coming weeks, the job search are going to start dwindling down because we're going into holiday and Thanksgiving and nobody really interviews. So now it's hitting me that since I have no other prospects, I'm basically going to have nothing for the next 2 months. And I'm just feeling just so down today. I can't even bring myself to make other type of content because I'm so drained and focused on trying to find a job. And I'm trying not to make finding a job be your whole identity, but it's just hard to go through life when you don't have a job. There's no other way to put it. I know I'm more than my work, but not having one, it just really makes you contemplate all of your decisions. And the fact that I walked away from my job, I didn't even get fired. I chose to walk away. I'm just hard on myself because basically I left because I was alone. I didn't have family, but I'm just telling myself now, you should have stuck it up. You should have just stuck it out and just disregard my happiness and I just should have stayed with the job. So today it's just not a good day. I don't know. I don't even know what else to say.
Okay, so just a mini update. Literally, I was so sad this morning, as you guys saw if I put the clip in. It was a very vulnerable moment. But I did just get off the phone with one of the job offers, and they did let me know that they are still considering me and that they are still looking at other applicants, and that's why I haven't heard from them within the week. But they did still say that I was a top priority, and the HR representative was reaching out just to see how I felt, because we've been in this hiring process for 2 months now. So she was still reaching out to see if I'm still interested. So obviously I let her know. This is the one that I wasn't the most excited for, but at this point, if they offer me it, I will accept it, because I haven't heard from the other position, and I feel like I would have heard from them by now if they were interested. But at least that's a little positivity that I can think about today. I'm just gonna pray, and if the Lord says that I'm destined for this job, I will get what I need. But she basically wanted to know, when can I start? Is the pay good? And if I was still open for the role. So I let her know everything. She said they will keep in touch. She still didn't specify like when she would let me know that an offer is being considered for one of the people that are going through the process. But at least that gives me hope that I'm not completely out of the running and they are still considering me. So we are still hoping, seeing if that aligns, and at least that's a little bit of a better bright spot for today. Checking in for a quick update. It is now, I think it's been like a week since the last time I picked up the camera and updated you all. But today is November 17th, I believe. It's a Monday. I just recently celebrated my birthday. So on November 15th, I did turn 29. So claps to me. Thankful and blessed to see it to the age of 29. I am very thankful for that. But regarding the job update, I was hoping that I would at least receive an update before my birthday, so that then I can either determine whether I'm going to celebrate or be sad. But I guess it wasn't in the cards for me to know, because the last time I spoke to the recruiter regarding the only real job I have left that's optional that I might get an offer from was the day before my birthday on November 14th. I was at the DMV finalizing my car registration and everything, and I was going to email the recruiter, which I did, to let her know, like, because it's been a week since the last time she spoke to me. So I just wanted to know what was the status of my job application. Last time I checked within Workday, all week it was sitting at the status of an interview debrief. So I was just in limbo all last week, and I was hoping to hear from the company to find out, like, am I getting an offer or not? Like, what's going on? So the second I hit send and hit that email to go off to the recruiter, my phone rang and it was the company. So I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm going to get my decision and I can, relax and just see what's going to come of it. But no, she messaged me and she said, hey, I just want to let you know we are still in the process of debating candidates, and she let me know that I'm still a contender. So that was nice to hear, but she said unfortunately they're not going to make their final decision until next week, which is this week, because now it's Monday. So I messaged her. So when I was on the phone with her, I was like, okay, are you gonna update me before Friday of next week? Because it seems like every Friday is when she calls me, and she leaves me to stress all throughout the week to know, like, what's the status or not. And she told me I should hear some news before Friday, but Friday the latest, to determine what's going on. So I'm anticipating maybe like Wednesday, Thursday, they might reach out to me and let me know what the deciding factor is. I'm trying not to be, too hopeful, but of course I do hope I get the position. So I'm just trying to distract myself for the week and just let it go by so I can hear the decision. Thankfully, no matter how, it turns, I am going to be busy this week So this week I'm leaving on Wednesday to go to New Jersey to spend time with my best friend. We are going to the Brandy and Monica concert, so I'm gonna stay with her for a week to do that and spend some time with her. And then once I leave from New Jersey, I'm flying to Maryland because then it's Thanksgiving weekend, and I spend Thanksgiving in Maryland with my family, and I'm gonna be with them all the way up until Thanksgiving is over, and then I'll fly back to Florida at the start of the week after Thanksgiving. So either way, I will have a decision, and regarding the outcome, I'll either be celebrating with family or my family will just be making me feel better. And I just want to get away. Honestly, it's becoming a toll on me. I think I told you guys already at the beginning. It's just really stressful, and this job market is just nothing that I've ever experienced. That's really why I had to step away from YouTube and from social media and everything, because I just can't put on a fake or a front when I'm just not feeling 100% myself. I'm dealing with a lot of self-doubt, a lot of reflecting and seeing if I made the right decision, and I'm trying not to live in the I should have did this, or this would have happened, and I'm just trying to count my blessings and be really thankful and just believe that I'm meant to be on the path that I am on. God has not steered me wrong so far in my life. I've really been thankful and blessed with every opportunity he presented in front of me, whether it's something I didn't want to do or something that I was pushed to do. So I'm just going to take whatever comes as what it is and just keep living and learning through my life with that. But I am getting better about myself, and I am starting to get my spirit back. So I do think I'm going to get back to creating and really putting in my time and my passion back into YouTube and the shop and all that stuff, because I really do enjoy it, and it really warms my heart to know that people really find value in what I create and what I do. So I do want to try and get back to that position to do that. But update as of right now, that is the status. I am still applying for other jobs and things as they come through. I applied to quite a few last weekend, but given that it's holiday time, it is slowing down, and a lot of people just really aren't posting jobs, so I can only apply to what comes my way. But yeah, that's the status. I'm on the way to the post office right now because I did have to close the shop because, like I said, I'm about to fly and journey and travel and all that stuff. So the shop is on vacation, but I will update you guys if and when there is something to update.
Coming to you to tell you that Monet has finally gotten a job offer. You can hear her reaction in the background. She's telling family and friends right now. This is her natural reaction, y'all, before she gets polished up. So make sure you go down in the comments and you wish her congratulations. She's been being very diligent in her hunt, very patient. And we're also proud of her. We can't wait for her to get started on this new chapter. Oh, and wish her a happy birthday. She's on her third day of 29.
Okay, I have to send an update. I think my bestie already told you guys, but I'm in New Jersey. I arrived at her apartment, and literally we're sitting on the couch chatting, and the HR lady emails me, and she's like, she wants to talk. I can't even speak. She wants to talk, and I'm psyching myself out because I know it's either going to be a yes or a no, and I got a job. I can't even put into words. I was hopeful that I was going to get it, but I actually got it. And I'm just shaking. Beyond blessed. Nothing but the Lord. That's all I can say regarding that. And your girl is back and employed. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. But that's the update. Right now, we gotta go eat, gotta celebrate, but that's the update. Okay, guys. Hey, it's the next day. It's November 20th, and I've had some time to decompress and calm down and really let it sink in that I'm actually employed again, which is just so crazy to even think about. So blessed, so thankful. And I wanted to actually write down, or at least highlight, the process of how long this has taken me, because I didn't start recording or doing my little video diaries at the start of me putting in the application. And I went back and looked at all the data. I initially applied for this position on September 16th, and if you guys remember, I left for my 3-week or like 2.5-week European vacation literally the next day. September 17th is when we were at the airport, and I just randomly came across this job application right before we left, and I was like, let me just go ahead and apply. Because mind you, I have been applying to this company for some time now while I was looking for a job, but I told myself I didn't want to get serious regarding looking for employment until after I came back from vacation, because who was going to hire me if I was going to be gone for 3 weeks, after I just started. So I wanted to seriously start looking when I came back, but something in me just said, even though you're going on vacation, just go ahead and apply and see what you can do. So I sent application on September 16th, and on September 26th, that is when they got back to me via email and said that they wanted to set up the first phone screening with the recruiter. And September 26th, I was still on the boat. We didn't come back from Europe until October 3rd. So when that email came through, I let the recruiter know I'll be back at such and such date, and we can schedule the interview for then. Now, mind you, when I came back from the cruise, I applied to quite a few jobs, and I've had about 3 other jobs lined up to do an initial interview when I returned. So I was very optimistic, and I was very surprised while I was on vacation that so many companies came back to me and wanted to schedule interviews. But what was happening is that every time I did the initial interview with the recruiter, either something wasn't clearly stated on the job description, or we just weren't aligned in terms of pay. Because I didn't really want to step back in terms of my pay from my last employer. I kind of wanted to progress within my career, but with this job market, it was given, you need to take what you get. So when I came back, I scheduled our first interview on October 6th. So when I did the initial phone screening for this position, the recruiter already let me know we're not expecting to hire anybody for this position until December. And in the back of my mind, I thought, surely I will have a job by December. I don't know why I was delusional thinking that, but I still told her yes, like that's fine with me. I would continue with the process, but honestly, I did not think I would get the job. So I thought she was just saying that to be polite and I would never hear from her again. But then we move on to October 22nd. So it's been about 2.5 weeks since the last time I did my initial interview with the recruiter, and I thought I flopped it. And I was like, okay, I haven't heard from her. It is what it is. I'm moving on with my life. But on October 22nd, she reached out to me and said she wanted to set up a meeting with the hiring manager for me to begin the process of this job. And I was like, okay, I didn't think I would get to the first interview with the hiring manager, so I just went in there cool, calm, collective, because this is a well-known company. So my expectations were like, I'm never gonna get this. So I just took the interview as if for practice and just to see what can come of it. But as I was talking to her within the interview, it was very chill, very relaxed, and I was able to showcase my skills and show that I could actually do the job. Because when I read the job description, it is something that I'm familiar with doing. It's just something new. It's kind of like a next step in my career. Me being able to answer those questions pertaining to the field that I've been in for the past 6 years, it resonated with her, and she saw that those are transferable skills and that can be applied to this position. So after I spoke to her, I didn't hear anything for about a week, and then that's when I found out I got pushed now to the third round of this interview, where I would be sitting with the director. And I think that's when I started to pick up the camera and started to document it, because I had high hopes for the one job and then this job. I saw that I could possibly get some ground moving with those two jobs, and I was really getting in my feelings in terms of the job market. So it was really stressing me out. So I said, let me just document it and talk to somebody to relieve my stress. So October 28th is when I had my interview with the director, and that was a really nice interview. When I finished that, I was like, that was so smooth. Me and her got along so well. So I saw promise with that. And then quickly right after that, I believe the next day is when the recruiter came back to me and said she wants to put me in a panel interview with multiple people within the organization. And I did a panel interview with 4 different people within the organization, and again, that panel interview was very smooth, very chill, and I felt like I walked away, doing my best, and I felt like I did pretty good. And as you guys saw, it was weeks going by when I didn't hear anything, and then finally yesterday she came and the recruiter let me know the news. So definitely a long process. That was the longest process in terms of the interview process that I've ever experienced, and I think it really just speaks volume to the type of market that we are currently in. At the end of the day, I feel like everything played out exactly how it needed to. Even though I was stressed and I was emotional, I feel like the timing of me getting this is the best time. So I'm just so grateful and nervous and excited for this new opportunity. So I think that's probably where I'll wrap up this video. I feel like it's just been a montage of me talking, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of the process and what I was going through. If you are in the thick of it and you are unemployed, trying to find a job, I know I didn't want to hear it when I was unemployed, but definitely keep going, because you just never know when something can work out. And I got a lot of rejections. Like, this is the most rejections I've gotten, because I was actively looking for jobs in July with hopes that I may come across something before I left for my trip to Europe, or at least have something lined up, and it was just rejection after rejection after rejection. But when I came back from Europe, I was consistent, really dedicated. So I would say it took me 3 to 5 months to try and find a job, and I think that's what they're saying the new norm is, to find a job, which is just so sad and crazy, but it's just the world we're living in, I guess. But as I said, that's enough yapping. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and this just motivated me to go ahead and make some more content, and I'm excited to get back into the groove, get back into feeling like my old self again, where I can achieve my financial goals and do the things that I really want to do, and kind of just get my life back on track, because I felt like I was kind of at like a standstill and I couldn't do anything. But again, so thankful and grateful for the opportunity that my cousin gave me. But we are excited for the next chapter. So that's all I have for today. If this is the end, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you all next time within my next video. Bye.